Turning to your forecast, Brad, the bitter cold will be lingering in our area through tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the coldest night of the season will be tonight into tomorrow. This is a view up at Beach Mountain right now, and it looks like the frozen tundra up there because you've got all the snowmakers on. The wind is blowing. The temperature at the top of the mountain right now, it's about 8 degrees with a wind chill of about 15 below zero. There are some skiers out there, believe it or not, and what you're seeing, that's not clouds, that's actually snowmakers. I love this view. They're going to go back to the west here, and you can see the sunset. Look at that. I mean, that doesn't look like North Carolina. Look how cold it is up there. Skiers are coming off the lift right now. It's going to be probably the coldest night of the season so far, but for the month of January and for this winter, we've been above average. So has the Midwest, believe it or not. I was just looking. Chicago's 3 degrees above average for the winter, so we'll have to see if this Arctic blast knocks these temperatures back closer to average. For us, not going to put a big dent in our above average temperatures. We're down into the upper teens in the mountains, low 40s now in the Piedmont. We're still above freezing in many locations, but tonight, this will be the coldest night of the season as we drop back to the single digits in the mountains and a lot of mid and upper teens. The coldest we've been so far this season has been about 19 degrees. The coldest night so far, cold day tomorrow, but that's it. Then it starts to warm up. I mean, it's not going to exactly be mild on Friday, but we're going to start that trend back up into the 50s and eventually the 60s. We talked about that 19. That's the coldest we've been so far. That was back on the 21st, so not that long ago. This morning, by the way, second coldest, at least tied for it, at 21 degrees. We've hit that 3 separate times, and 33 nights that we've dropped below the freezing mark. We've had some high clouds out there today, but here's the heart of the Arctic blast. Many locations in the Midwest did not get above freezing, or zero, I should say. In some locations didn't get above 10 below zero, and this Arctic air is going to settle in tonight. There will be all-time record lows threatened in many locations, including areas around Charlotte. That always begs the question. People ask me, well, what's the coldest Charlotte has ever been? Well, -5. We hit that 3 separate times, and the last time we were that cold was back in 1985 when we were -5 and -2. Those two numbers, that's the last time the Midwest saw temperatures this cold, and those are the records. That mid-80s Arctic outbreak was by far the coldest that the eastern half of the country had ever seen, and we got in on that action. These are the only times we've been at 0 or below here in the Queen City, so it can happen. It's just very rare. It's happened on basically 5 separate locations times that we've been below zero. High pressure builds in tonight and tomorrow. That's why this will be the coldest part of the Arctic outbreak. As we go into Friday, we start a slow but steady warm up, and by the weekend, those temperatures are going to be in the 50s. So tomorrow's high is going to be about 38 degrees, but by next Wednesday, we're going to jump 30 degrees, and the high temperature is going to be pushing 70 degrees. The reason why, the cold air is going to retreat back into Canada and the pole, and we're going to see a big ridge develop across the southeast, so really mild air, but doesn't mean winter's over yet. There are still pieces of cold air and a lot of snow and ice to our north. That means we could still have the chance for some cold air. In fact, you see the warm temperatures in the 6 to 10 day outlook, but look at the cold building back in the plains and the west. So eventually that will swing back our direction, and February and March, at least early March, the snowiest part of the winter for us. So below average the next couple of days, well above average as we go towards the middle of this time frame, but then at the end, we're back below average. So there will be cold air again. We're not going right into spring just yet, though it might feel like it here in the next 7 days as temperatures go from the 30s to the 60s and maybe even close to 70 degrees with a chance of rain. We'll be right back.